Yo, it's your boy, Coach Carl. Mr. 57 is the new 27. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about what it takes to be a fighter. Now, being a fighter ain't like nothing else. I'm here to tell you, you can play the piano all day. You can run all day. You can be a doctor, a lawyer, a fireman, be in the military. They ain't the same thing as being a fighter. Because each one of these jobs, you can go in halfway and you can work your way up. You can sit down at the piano and decide I'm playing. I don't like the way it's going. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get my thoughts together. I'm going to relax and I'm going to start playing again. Being a fighter, once you climb in that ring or that cage or you step outside on that block and you put your hands up, the fight don't stop until both parties agree. So why is you thinking I'm gonna stop, he thinking I'm gonna speed it up. You know how it go. That's how it go. So being a fighter is a full-time job. When you climb in, you climb in. Hey, look, I don't know what to tell you. All I gotta say is make sure this is what you want to do before you do it. Because being a fighter consists of a lot of things, not including getting hit in that head, getting hit in that body. It consists of training, real training. I'm talking about when you get on the floor today and you do your push-ups, you don't understand what the push-ups are for when you just working for other things, like working just for being in shape. You know, you don't understand how they work. But when you're a fighter, you get on the floor and you do your push-ups because you try to save your life. You thinking every push-up counts. Every push-up is going to make me a little stronger. Every session on the bench press is going to make me a little stronger. Every time I do these squats, it's going to make my legs a little stronger. For when I reach in and throw them punches and twist them hips, I got fire. You know what I'm saying? But it's one of those deals where you can't slack up because not running today means no cardio tomorrow. Not lifting this week means no muscle building for tomorrow. Can't take a break, dog. If you're going to be a fighter, be a fighter. Learn the game. The game starts with training. Then it starts with cardio. Then it starts with diet. Oh, well, what does a diet have to do with being a fighter? The right food is fuel. You need fuel. That's what they say carbs are. Carbs are gasoline in your tank. They keep you going. The wrong food, it's like the wrong gas in a sports car. It don't work. So you definitely need to have the diet right. Then you got to learn technique. Technique is important. Just because you can throw them hands on the street don't mean you can throw them in a ring. See, because you got to remember, a street fight and a ring fight, they ain't the same fight. But it's two guys hitting each other, yeah, but it's not the same fight. See, in the ring, you get to run around. You get to bounce off the ropes. You know what I'm saying? You get to bounce off the ropes, and then it's 3 minutes. And then it's a minute break for you can get yourself together. So if you're losing, you can come back and win later. But in a street fight, it's boom. It's like two rams running at each other. When they hit, they fight the entire time until the fight's over. That's like MMA. You don't got a lot of time to run around the ring like you do in boxing. In boxing, you get to dance, Joan. You get to pop the jab and set everything else up. But in a real fight, like a street fight or a real fight, to the death almost, like, you got to be ready. I ain't saying it's a fight to the death, but if it's going to be a fight, you never know how it's going to end. So be prepared, and then you can win. But it's a trip, man. You got to know some stuff. So that means you got to be disciplined. Well, what does discipline have to do with anything? If I tell you, if I'm your coach and I send you in there to fight, I'm telling you a strategy that's going to work. I'm saying work the jab for the first round. Throw a couple of simple combinations in the second round. Third round, you can speed the process up because by the first 2 rounds, you should have learned what the other guy is capable of. Sometimes in a fight, you teach a guy to go out there and keep his guard tight and just block a few punches because you want to see what the other guy's throwing. You want to see if he actually got power, if he actually got speed, if he actually, got combinations. You need to know that. So sometimes you can't go fight fire with fire. Sometimes you gotta blang, blang, you gotta block, blang, blang, and work your way in. And then see what we're working with. And then later in the fight. That's why fights are strategies. That's why they call it the art of boxing. Because it's a strategy. It ain't about just going out there and just jumping on the guy. That's something you might do in the street, but that ain't what you're going to do in the ring. So to be a real fighter, you got to have discipline. You got to train. You got to eat right. You got to run. You got to have rest time. What is rest time? What rest time got to do with any of this? I ain't trying to rest. You got to be able to rest, because if you don't rest, then how do you get to the point where you be ready to fight again? So you got to rest. Resting is important. So with that being said, there's a lot of things that's going on for a real fighter. You got to be, it's A to Z. There ain't no stopping. That's A to Z. They got to keep moving. So with that being said, make sure that when you decide that you want to fight, that you understand the fight is a whole thing. It's not one thing. It's a whole thing. So make sure you find somebody that's going to train you the right way and don't miss out on none of them steps. Them steps is important. So yeah, you got to train. You got to do calisthenics. You got to stretch. Why I got to stretch? Stretch is crazy. I don't like stretching. If you don't stretch, then when you throw certain punches, how you know you're not going to pull a muscle? See, you might have built this arm up and this forearm up and this wrist and this fist up to knock somebody out. But as soon as you throw it, you stretch something on the side. And now the rest of the fight, you're trying to heal from that pulled muscle. It's just that simple. So the whole body got to be in shape to be a fighter. The whole thing. You can't slow down at all. The whole body got to be in shape. And if the whole body's not in shape, then you can't get nowhere. So you got to have a guy that's willing to teach you the calisthenics, the weight training, teaching you the cardio. You got to go running, teaching you the strategy as far as what strategy you need to be able to get in the ring and fight. Then to teach you how to hold, how to run, how to duck, how to block, man, how to eat right. I mean, to be a fighter is to be a fighter, bruh. If you're going to be a fighter, be a fighter. And if you don't want to commit to being a fighter, then be something else. One thing you got to learn is how to play the keys, or how to hit the strings, or how to sing. You know what I'm saying? But being a fighter, you got to be willing to take some and give some. So with that being said, it is what it is. If this thing ain't for you, pick something else. Football is tough, but it ain't fighting. Basketball is tough, but it ain't fighting. Running is tough, but it ain't fighting. Fighting is fighting. So to be a fighter, you got to be willing to do what it takes to be a fighter. Your whole body, your whole mind. That's what's got to go in the ring. Everything every time. You can't have problems outside. You can't have girlfriend problems, because that's going to go with you in the ring. So with that being said, concentrate, focus, and decide if you want to be a fighter. And if you do, then get the training. And I see you in the ring. Holla.